What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Move the Six 360 series. Daniel Jeremiah, joined by Bucky Brooks, as always. And we have a big-time offensive lineman sitting in the chair today, Michigan State's Jack Conklin. Jack, how you doing, man?
Good. Thank you for having me.
First of all, through this whole process, it's a grind. You go through a long season. You guys get into the playoffs there. You go up against Alabama, and then from there all the way to where we are today. How has the process been for you overall?
You know, it's definitely busy. You never really realize how much goes into the whole process. You know, you hear from the older guys who've been to the combine and through the pro day and all the training. But until you go through it, you really don't realize how much of a grind it is. But, you know, now starting to wrap up, you know, getting ready for the draft, you know, you realize, you know, that wasn't really a great process to go through and really will help build into the process of being an NFL player.
You know, Jack, what has the journey been like going from being a former walk-on to now you're on the verge of being maybe a top 20 pick? How did you get to this spot?
I'd say it really comes down to two parts for me. The older guys, when I got to Michigan State, they really helped me a ton. They helped me after practice, whether it was doing extra drill work or hitting the film and doing more stuff. They really brought me along, and that was really – it just gave me the step up for then once I finally did, after my redshirt year, was able to step in and start right away just because all the time those guys put in and helped me get to the capability of being able to step in and play. And then the other part is being able to play against guys like Will Golston coming in for now play with Tampa Bay and being able to play against one of the best guys, you know, in the league every day. Being on a scout team, sure, he was wrecking me a lot, but once I was able to start holding my own, I started to, you know, realize, hey, I can hang with anybody in the country if I can do this well against him.
One of the things I love about you, and I'm sure you've heard this a lot from people that have studied and watched you play, is just how physical you are. And I go back to that Oregon game and watch you against DeForest Buckner. There's one play you have kind of your little patent move here. You like to get underneath people. You can leverage them, and you can kind of hip toss them a little bit, show you that lower explosiveness. If I was going to ask you your number one trait as a player, I know my answer is just your nastiness and your physicality. What would you say?
Yeah, I would say physicality too. Just I love putting people on the ground. You know, I'm gonna every opportunity I can. If I feel, you know, a guy's weight going a certain way, I'm gonna take him and go with it and try to put him on his back.
Well, we're two former scouts here, so we're going to do some scouting. I'm going to turn it over to my man Bucky here. Throw some tape up on the screen here of you, Jack, and we're going to let Bucky tell you what he sees from you when he's looked at your game and see if you agree or disagree here with my man Buck.
You know, you pointed to the fact that you love putting people on the ground. The nastiness stands out on tape. Your balance, your body control. I love the way – technically, I thought you were very, very sound and solid in what you did, being able to get to the next level. In the run game, I thought you were a people mover, a guy that could move bodies. And then your anchor against solid pass rushes to me was very, very impressive. Leads me to believe you could be a very, very natural left tackle at the next level.
You agree or disagree here, Jack?
No, I'd agree. I'd say that's my biggest thing, with especially my pass blocking, is the anchor. I'm able to, if a guy does get into me or something, I am able to get my legs down and hold them off, and you know, I get myself in a bad position. Somehow I'm able to hold them off just by the weight I am able to in my lower body.
Have you worked on your pass set at all? Because there are at times, every now and then, I'll see you heel click a little bit, or you get a little bit narrow at times. Is that something you've worked on since the end of the season as we march towards the draft?
Yeah, it's been huge. I actually got to work out with Hudson Hawk.
Yeah,
and down in San Diego at Exos. I was able
legendary offensive line coach, for those that don't know.
Yeah, so being able to work with him that's helped a ton. Just on just the balance, you know, like you said, occasionally you'll see my feet click together or something, or I put myself in a bad situation, and so we really worked on the relative position with being an offensive lineman, getting yourself in the right position. It's not about as much of, you know, moving your feet a ton, but getting myself in the best position possible to be able to handle the different defensive rushers.
All right, want to get to some comparisons here for you. And the name that came to mind, I don't know if you're familiar with him, Andrew Whitworth.
Okay, yep.
From the Cincinnati Bengals. There you go. So he watches NFL football. I've already learned one thing here today, Bucky. But when I watch Whitworth play, and I remember he's a guy coming out of LSU, I missed on him. Jack, look, Ted Williams even struck out every night. I missed on Andrew Whitworth coming out of LSU. Because one of the things I didn't know, I was like, I don't know how purely athletic he is. I know he tested really well, but I thought he had a little bit of stiffness to him. But what he is, Jack, he is so physical, he is so smart, and he is so strong. You can't get through him. Every now and then you might see Whitworth get beat around the edge. You will never get through his numbers. And that's one of the things I love about his play, that physical nature and the reliability that he brings to the table. And that's one of the same things I saw in you. So you've seen Whitworth play a little bit over the years.
No, yeah, definitely. And especially going through this process, I've heard people, you know, talking about me, a similar guy to him. So, watching him, and I mean, even him going to LSU, he comes from a similar offense that I came from in college, and I think that's one of the big things that it helps me too in going into this process, coming from that pro style, that physical type offense that you see a lot of teams in the NFL with. And the transition, I think, is going to be a lot easier for me compared to a lot of guys coming from those spread offenses. And just understanding the football IQ of the game, I think, is one of the things that I have a really good understanding of.
All right, I had Whitworth, Bucky. You had another comparison.
I had Bryan Bulaga coming from
Yeah.
Iowa. And part of the reason I compared you to Bryan Bulaga, you talked about the IQ, the mental side of it. As a technician, I believe that you had similar traits to what I saw from Bulaga when he was coming out of Iowa. Also, one of the things that I was intrigued by, possibly moving to right tackle because Bulaga has played on both sides of the line. So when you look at Bryan Bulaga, what are some of the things that stands out in his game that you believe you can add to yours?
That nastiness, just being able to take that to the next level. I mean, especially Green Bay's O-line, they're really known for that. Between both tackles, but with Bulaga, just being able to step in there, and he's also, he's a good pass blocker too. I mean, that's him being a right tackle doesn't take anything away from his ability to do that too. So I guess that for me, it's just, I think the question is, some of the pass blocking stuff for me especially, and I think I'll have that capability of showing people, hey, I can still do that.
When you think about it, has anyone talked to you possibly about moving from left to right, and how comfortable would you be moving to the right side? Because your footwork, your eye, everything is different when you go to a different side.
Yeah, a few teams they've asked me about it. I said, hey, would you be willing to play right tackle, or even guard, or everybody's like, they want to see how many positions you can play, obviously. But I started my time at Michigan State as a right tackle, so that's it's really very natural for me. I can go down to the right-handed stance and kick with my right foot as the back foot, and that's something I can easily do. Switch back.
That's a good sales pitch. I want to show you real quick. We're going to zip through this because you saw some big-time pass rushers this year and some big-time players. I mentioned DeForest Buckner. You've seen Bosa. You've seen all these big-time guys. But I want to show you a little bit of what you're getting yourself into here as we get to the next level. And tell me what you think about getting a matchup for the first time with this number 99 from Houston and what you see from him.
Yeah, just the strength. I mean, he's going to – and the thing with JJ is he's got so many moves that he's just – you're not really sure what he's going to hit you with. And he's strong enough to –
Woo.
Yeah, he's strong enough to go right through, and he's quick enough to come inside on you or even get to the outside. So, but those are the guys I look forward to playing against. Those are the guys I'm really going to be able to prove myself against. And if I can play and hold my own against guys like JJ, that'll be what shows how good of a player I can be. And so that's what I look forward to.
Is there anything that you can do against a power player like that? Does it require a short setting or anything that you can do to kind of stem some of that momentum that they bring when they come at you like this?
Really, the short set will help quite a bit. I think really with a guy like JJ, with how many things he can do, you got to switch it up as much as possible. Hit him with the short set,
jump set him,
jump sets, deep sets, just to keep him thinking, so he can't have that next move planned out because you've been doing the same thing over and over again. So, I guess the mindset I would go into with a game playing against a guy like that is, how can I try to play a mind game with him? How do I get him thinking more about what I'm going to do and not what he's going to do against me?
We talk about J.J. Watt being a very powerful guy, that guy that wants to take you straight down the middle and see if he can kind of forklift you and take you back.
Yeah.
Obviously, the league also is known for the speed rushers that come off the edges, Von Millers, the guys that have explosive first-step quickness and have the ability to bend.
Got a little Von Miller here.
So
Jack's not going to sleep very well after that. We're showing J.J. Watt. Now we're going to show him some Von Miller.
What do you see when you face a guy like that? Like, what is your initial mindset in facing a guy that has that kind of explosiveness and cat-like quickness off the ball?
No, yeah, that's definitely I want to get my hands on him. That's my thing, which is the hardest part about it. But if I feel like with a guy like that, obviously he's so quick, especially those first few steps up the ball. I feel like they're usually the lighter guys, so I feel like if I can get my hands on him, maybe, like you said, I'm going to try to maybe quick set him, try to get on him quicker, just because I know if I can stem him at the line, I'll have a better chance than having a speed game with him, because he's obviously faster, and if I get chasing after him over and over again, he's going to beat me. So I have to, then again, throw some short sets in there, some mid size stuff. Usually try not to get too deep on him because he is that quicker guy, and if you give him a lot of space, he's going to come up with something quick.
I'll tell you what, this is a football player, Bucky, we both like.
Absolutely.
We both have him highly rated on our list. I know in talking to people around the league, you're very highly thought of. We appreciate you taking some time and joining us here today, Jack. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on.
All right, Daniel Jeremiah, Bucky Brooks, and one of the best offensive linemen in this draft class, Jack Conklin from Michigan State. For all of our 360 series, go to NFL.com/MoveTheSticks360. A lot of the best players in the draft have sat in that chair, and you can check out all of those interviews.